It's great to see the young crowd of or young generation of Indian professional world, and I'm glad to be part of this session today. And I understand that uh, the audiences are, all of you are from different areas of functions. Some of you are taking trainings in retail, some of them are taking trainings on IT, and some of them are on the finance and many other areas. So it's good to have a mix of all set of professionals, young upcoming professionals. And though I am from a technology world, you may sound some of my points of discussions going more inclined to the technology, but we'll try to generalize it as much as possible. Okay, now let's have a look at what are the essentials traits that a successful professional is required to show in a corporate environment. The first and foremost one would definitely be your technical or functional proficiency. Whatever may be your line of profession, it may be a finance profession, or maybe a technology profession, or a sales and marketing function, whatever function that you may be operating on, you should have complete proficiency of the area that you are operating in. So nothing can replace your area of your proficiency in your own professional area, which essentially means know your job very well, right? Now, by just knowing the job well, do you think you can be successful? Probably no. Apart from your functional or your professional knowledge, you need to have many other qualities or traits required to become a successful professional. Definitely a 1 hour session won't be enough to cover each one of them in detail, but I will try to take you through some of the most important ones, which may be general across most of the type of professions. 1. The service orientation. Now, when I say service orientation, does it mean that do we all need to be servicing external customers? Probably no. Anyone or everyone who is into corporate world or even into own business should have a customer orientation. Now, customer orientation necessarily means that how well you are able to service your customer or the target audiences. If you are in a corporate world and you are managing the technology function, who is your customer? Your own colleagues will be your customer. Different functions, different departments in the organization will be your customer. Second, say if you are into finance function, you are handling certain function in the finance department, who all are going to be your customers? Your customers are going to be your internal the internal departments as well as your suppliers and customers, external customers. Or similarly, if you are into a retail function, your customers may be the people who are going to walk into your shop. Now, shop or a mall. Now, basically being customer oriented means how well you are able to give service to the customer. Now the customers may be a VIP customer, or he may be in a corporate world, he may be a senior director of the company, or he may be a head of department, or even he may be a line worker also. But you need to differentiate between their expectations, and you should try to match your delivery with their expectations. Now what there are certain things that you can do to make sure that the expectations are met. Say one area that one can definitely take care is dedication and commitment. Now whosoever may be your customer, you have to show enough dedication to the customer to make sure that his needs or expectations are fulfilled. Example, say if you are into a finance function and your direct in the salary processing function. Now your direct customer will be who? Your direct first level customer will be the HR, who is at the first level responsible for ensuring the salary is released on time. And the second level customer is going to be your organization's employees. So now to make sure that if first is the salary dispatch date, by doing whatever means, you must make sure that the salary is processed on the first itself, not on third or fourth. So there could be many issues or difficulties one may come across, but it's totally your ability which is going to show that how well you are able to meet the customer's expectation on time. Second, respect. Every person deserves respect, and when it comes to customers, customers expect respect from you. Now suppose if you are an IT person, you are taking care of the your company's employees IT support function. Now if there is a problem with the PC or network, or if there is a problem with the antivirus software, now the problem may be whatever, how trivial the problem may be, you need to give full respect to the client. The client may be frustrated when there is a problem, because his work is stopped, but it doesn't mean that we can show disrespect or frustration back to the customer. So the customer needs to be given utmost respect at all the time. Third, social intelligence. When I say social intelligence, how well are you able to handle users when they are in problems. Now they may be frustrated, again they may be anxious, or they may show a lot of anger on you when they are in difficulty, but what is most important is how well you are able to handle the situation. Fourth, simplicity and transparency. Everyone expects, some of you may be experts in finance function, or some of you may be expert in the sales and marketing function, or IT, whatever may be your area of domain. But when you deal with the end user or your end customer, please remember that he is not a specialist. He has come to take your support or service. So make sure that you don't bore with the customer with the jargons or complicated words. So we should make the life simple for the people. Now another most important expectation from a professional is communication. Now communication, why communication is important? Because communication creates an everlasting impression in the minds of your targeted audiences. Now communication can be classified based on the category of the people whom you are interacting with. It may be with again internal people or external, but having a good communication process or skill is very, very important. So when we communicate, it can be a verbal communication or it can be non-verbal communication. So today, if you see in the corporate world, 80% of the messages are going in the email form. Now one should definitely follow the right practice while communicating with people. So, one should follow good email etiquettes to make sure that, the targeted audiences are receiving your message well. When you are verbally communicating with, in this electronic era, we are tempted to have most of the communication done through email because it's very easy. Now, this, a lot of people use BBMs, SMSs and all that, but when it comes to formal communications, people prefer using emails. But it's always better, that one should maintain personal touch with the target audiences wherever possible. So, when you are in a specific situation or when you are working on a very important project or activity, by just sending an email, please don't expect that, the action will happen quickly. So, depending on the urgency or, the criticality of the situation, make sure that you communicate well with your targeted audiences. Now, I'll give you a few, guidelines which you can which you can apply for being a good communicator. When you are into verbal communication with people, never, jargonize your communication. It has to be as simple as possible. The language has to be very simple. The way you communicate has to be very simple. And as far as possible, maintain eye contact with your colleague or the targeted audience, and be as polite as possible. No one likes people who are harsh, no matter how efficient they may be, no matter how smart they may be. But in the corporate world, no one likes people who are not polite. Okay, so if you do not be polite, or if you be harsh with people, at the right opportunity, they will also try to reciprocate it back. And apart from the verbal or the electronic communication, lot of messages go from you unknowingly. They are called non-verbal communications, and non-verbal communications normally go through the way you carry yourself in the organization. What kind of impression you are able to make in the minds of people will definitely depend on the way you carry in the organization. Say your attire. When I say attire, it doesn't mean that you have to always wear tie, you have to always wear the best of the brand shirt or clothes. When we say professional attire, it all depends on your organization's culture. Now, suppose if you are working in an MNC, where and you are working in a technical field where it's okay to come in jeans or in t-shirts, but make sure that you you maintain your dress code in a manner which fits to the organization's culture.